trauma with this guy, man, and the whole situation. And I just want to say, I think he needs a lot of prayer, and he needs mental health, like the things that we can relate to, you know?
Absolutely.
I think that's what's gonna save him or help him. Nothing else. I don't think we should talk about him. I don't think we should make fun of him.
What has just come out about Q of Day26 and Diddy is absolutely horrifying, y'all. We've heard time and time again that everyone who crossed paths with Diddy had to go through something. And the bad boy artists had it the worst because Diddy held the keys to everything. But what Q recently revealed has cracked open an entirely new layer of chaos, right when we thought we had already heard it all about Diddy. According to Q, we are still only barely scratching the surface.
I kept trying to get in contact with him because all I wanted was an apology. All I kept saying, like, could you apologize? Like, could you just apologize for what I can't talk about right now? But I just wanted to apologize because something was wrong with me, man. Something was wrong. And like when your last Vlad interview, you could look at me and tell like something was wrong. Like I wasn't the enthused person. I wasn't cute. I looked like stressed. I looked like I was in a dark place. So like you could tell like something was wrong, like.
Apparently, Q woke up one morning to discover that a tape of himself was being circulated, and it was reportedly recorded by Diddy. The most disturbing part is that Q couldn't even remember how or when it happened. But the one thing he said he knew for sure was that it could not have happened without Don Richard helping Diddy, allegedly in the name of paying her dues. So the real question is, what exactly is Q talking about?
Talk to Diddy?
Not as often as I'd like, but that's the homie forever.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know that Puff had bought me out of a contract prior to even getting on the show. Like it wasn't I chose Puff over my group at the time. It was more of when someone does that, where I come from, you gotta respect that on a large level. So I gave loyalty to him. All his crazy, I look at things like that as loyalty. So I was loyal to him and I paid my dues back like a businesswoman should.
Right.
Until he said, okay, your dues are paid, and then I left.
If you've been following this story since the Cassie scandal that kicked everything off in 2023, and then the RICO charges that exposed just how deeply the industry protected Diddy, then you already know the allegations. It's been said that Diddy kept tapes and records on nearly everyone who crossed his path, using them as leverage to keep people silent and maintain his power. Most people assumed those tapes came from Diddy's infamous freak-offs, believing that those involved were complicit and simply didn't realize that every inch of Diddy's house was allegedly covered in cameras. But what if what Q is saying is true? What if that's not how it went down at all? According to Q, Diddy still managed to obtain damaging material on him, even though Q was extremely careful to protect his image. Q Mosley of Day26 has always avoided speaking openly about Diddy, and on the rare occasions that he did, he appeared visibly shaken. At times, he even broke down in tears.
I don't understand. No, it's okay, bro. I don't understand why someone would sit down and think about hurting someone. I don't know. Or laugh about it after they do it, you know? Like, I don't get it. That's why I said none of them are innocent. I'm not here to expose anybody, but none of them are innocent, man. Like, none of them are innocent. Y'all all coming after this man for millions of dollars when y'all were a part of it as well.
Even when Q of Day26 appeared in an interview earlier this year with the rest of his group, he looked visibly shaken and triggered when asked whether anything had ever happened between him and Diddy. It wasn't until he later sat down for an interview with Aubrey O'Day that the reason he finds it so difficult to talk about Diddy finally became clear. Around the time Day26 was active, Q began dating Don Richard, who was also signed to Bad Boy Records. They became the first known couple to come out at Bad Boy Records, aside from Faith Evans and the Notorious B.I.G. Their relationship was so public that it became a major storyline on Making the Band. One day, Dawn approached Q and told him she had something new for him to try, a pill she claimed she got from Diddy. She showed him a second pill that was supposedly meant for her, giving him the impression that the intent was for them to do something intimate together later on. But after Q took the pill, everything changed. When he eventually came to, he saw Diddy standing over him, looking down at him, with several other men in the room laughing. Q woke up screaming, his body feeling as though something had happened to him, yet he couldn't fully understand or explain what he was feeling.
My ex at the time, which was Dawn, she gave me an ecstasy pill. And she said...
Is that what she said it was?
Yeah, she said it was ecstasy, and she said it was from Puff to give to me. And it was red. And I took it because I thought I was going to get freaky with my girlfriend, you know? We tried ecstasy before, and I trusted her. That's what it was. He gave her 2 of them. I took mine. Within like 20 minutes, I knocked out and blacked out. I woke up in the twins' bedroom in the basement, and I woke up out of my sleep screaming very, very loud.
Who are the twins?
I don't know their names.
You're talking about Diddy's
Diddy's
daughters?
twins. Yeah. Diddy's twins. His girls. Yeah, I woke up in their bed. 2 cameras filming me, and they were laughing as I woke up out of my sleep, screaming. And it felt like
Yeah, take your time. It's okay. It's understandable that you're reliving this and emotion comes with it. There's just no way around it. So
it felt very sacrificial. That's what I meant when I said I felt like they were trying to hurt me, or Diddy was trying to maybe sacrifice me that night.
Someone later left a comment explaining what Q might have experienced, saying, "The thing is, he wasn't asleep. He was awake the whole time. What felt like waking up was actually his consciousness returning to his body." That explanation began to make sense when Q said he later confronted Dawn and learned that the pill wasn't recreational at all. It was more like a horse tranquilizer. What made the situation even more disturbing was the revelation that Dawn never took the pill she claimed she was going to take. She only pretended to swallow it, giving Q a false sense of security. Once she realized he had taken the pill, she allegedly spit hers out and signaled for Diddy to come in. Q also revealed that there were 2 red pills, and she never took hers. That detail haunted him. He described the experience as feeling less like a shared moment and more like an experiment, like he was a lab mouse in some twisted trial to see how quickly he would collapse. His trust had been manipulated and his vulnerability exploited. After the incident, Q began suffering from severe psychological symptoms, including auditory hallucinations, racing thoughts, intense paranoia, and crippling anxiety. His memory started slipping, his thoughts weren't clear, and it felt like his mind had regressed. With the help of doctors and loved ones, he was forced to relearn basic things. He said the pill broke him mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And he made it clear that he wasn't just talking about Diddy. He was also implying that Dawn Richard may have been an accomplice. It didn't take long before Dawn Richard responded with a statement of her own, saying, "I want to be unequivocally clear. I have never drugged anyone, nor have I ever given anyone pills to take. The suggestion that I did so is categorically false." She went on to argue that if such an incident truly happened, it would be inconsistent with Q's actions afterward, such as inviting her into his home, introducing her to his family, continuing their relationship, attending social events, and maintaining contact with people she claimed to have concerns about. However, critics quickly pointed out similarities between Dawn's response and the arguments previously used by Diddy and his legal team in the Cassie case, essentially questioning why someone would stay if abuse had occurred. Others also noticed that Dawn referenced specific timelines that Q never publicly confirmed, raising questions about how she knew what came after the alleged incident. Not long after, Dawn removed her statement. Instead, Diddy's former chef, Jordan, stepped in to defend her, claiming Dawn was not lying and suggesting that Q was alone in how he perceived the situation.
And also, before I forget, Dawn Richard is not a liar. Dawn's not a liar. I was in LA for a lot of stuff that happened, and I was also in New York and the Hamptons, with Dawn and Day26. So a lot of you know. You know, the trip where, like, after that, Q lost his mind and he was never really the same. I was in the Hamptons. Actually forget how much that I was really around for. So yeah, Don Richard is not a liar, has never been a motherfucking liar. If you guys knew, okay, working for someone that weaponizes food and punishes people and not allowing them to eat or sleep and berating them and all of that, like, yeah.
But it seems like Q of Day26 was more than ready to finally speak up and release everything he had been holding on to for over 2 decades. As soon as Jordan made her statement, Q didn't bother engaging in any back and forth with her. Instead, he simply dropped a snippet of the video he had been referring to and laid everything out on the table. According to Q, Jordan wasn't even present when everything went down. So how could she possibly know what happened unless someone else had told her what to say? The video itself appeared to confirm everything Q had been trying to explain. He looked disoriented, confused, and completely out of it. Who wakes up from sleep like that? The fact that he was soaking wet suggested he had been under the influence of something extremely strong. Don Richard was also visible in the video, laughing at him and deliberately scaring him, fully aware that she had played a role in what happened. It must have been terrifying for Q to wake up and slowly realize he had been manipulated. And if you look closely, right before the camera moved away, Diddy appeared to reach for something. There's no need to spell it out. You can tell what he was about to do. And the truly disturbing part is that it may have still happened, which could explain why the camera panned away so quickly to prevent it from being recorded.
So that's why I said I feel like he's in jail, and I'm not judging anybody because I think he needs prayer and help, but he's in jail because he's a danger to himself, first of all, and he's a danger to the world right now. And I think there's a lot of people that are scared that didn't come out in the beginning, that are very scared because it's a scary situation. It's not just him that could possibly hurt you. It's people around him that are still close to him that could hurt you, or it's just really deep, man.
Say what you want about Q of Day26, but when it comes to Diddy, his story has never changed. It's hard to believe he wasn't being genuine or that he was exaggerating anything for clout. The internet overwhelmingly believes what he's saying is true, and if we're willing to believe Cassie, then Q deserves to be given the same courtesy. Some people continue to defend Don Richard while ignoring her alleged harmful behavior toward her group members and Q, all while praising Diddy, only to later turn around and sue him. That inconsistency is glaring. Many critics have labeled Don as a pick-me. I truly hope Diddy gets everything that's coming to him. Watching the Day26 interview was heartbreaking. 4 out of the 5 members were visibly crying because of what happened to Q. And after watching that interview, I just want to say this. Q, I'm sorry you had to endure what you went through with Diddy. He doesn't even go into graphic detail, yet you can clearly see the pain, the trauma, and how deeply it still affects him. Diddy absolutely deserves what's coming. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Do you think Don Richard is still a victim of Diddy, or do you believe she was both an accomplice and a victim? Sound off in the comments, make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.